The mystery of Arbeia's dock. No one knows where the port for Arbeia was, where so many tons of goods, people and coinage passed through so many centuries ago. But as I was sat on Tyne Street, gazing across the river, it dawned on me that it could only be in one place. There's no question that Arbeia is built on a slope towards the river from south to north. There's also a slight slope from east to west, making the northwest corner the lowest point of the fort. At 50 yards past the northern end of the fort, there's a steep drop down to the riverside area on Wapping Street. Although the river is a further 50 yards from Wapping Street, in Roman times the river would have reached as far as the road. The steep drop is not clearly visible from the top on Green's Place, which is badly overgrown. This sheer bankside can only really be appreciated from the North Shields side and only slightly from the road below. Looking from across the water, it appears to be built on a slope, making the drop from the east end of Green's Place rather less than from the west end of the street. Given this, I believe the Roman dock was where the UK Docks dry dock is today, with jetties extending into the river. There was probably a zigzag to below where the Tyne pilot's house is, a natural lookout spot, where a path led straight up to the North Gate and two other paths led off to the northeast and northwest corners en route to the east and west gates, respectively. It seems in the early part of the fort's life, the North Gate was the main gate, but its arch was at some point bricked up and presumably heavy goods then entered via the east or west gates. The eminent archaeologist Sir Ian Richmond, 1902 to 1965, asserted that the dock was at Mill Dam, while Stephen Speake argued it was at the site of the Marine Training School, i.e. at the end of Mile End Road and under Wapping Street, while others claim the port lay on the Herd Sands side. In my view, the dock has to be at both the closest and most accessible point to the fort. Just looking at it from a distance, the UK Docks area looks and feels right, and furthermore, it's directly across from the site of Clifford's Fort, which I believe was a key navigation and crossing point right at the Narrows. Of course, the ground level was much lower in Roman times before any ballast was added to the area. I'm aware of how much further back the shore was in ancient times, and I'm also aware of how heavily this land has been occupied and worked on over the centuries. But Raymond Selkirk points out so clearly in his 1983 book, The Pierce Bridge Formula, natural features like ridges and tree lines don't just disappear from landscapes, they often subtly indicate the presence of older structures. Much remains unexcavated and to be discovered.